First and foremost, all praises are due to Yahweh Bashim Hawashai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us his truth. Salutations to the brothers around the four corners of the earth who are teaching this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel who listen and believe in this word. This is Brother Kawat Sabad coming at you with another lesson. This one is entitled, There Will Be No Bloodshed in the Kingdom. And the kingdom I'm referring to is the kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which will come upon the earth after the day of the Lord, when Yahushua destroys Babylon, America, and extracts the 1/3 elect of the Hebrew Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, into the chariots. The kingdom of heaven, all right, with Yahushua in rulership as King of Kings and Lord of Lords, will come down upon the earth in the land of Israel, our land that was promised to us through Abraham on down. The people that are there now, the Palestinians, and the so-called Israelis, they don't call themselves Israelites. Those people don't belong in the land. Now, I'm not saying that there may be some Hebrew Israelites there that may have the lineage through Jacob and be Hebrew Israelites, because as the scripture says, we will be scattered like the sand of the sea, the Hebrew Israelites. So there may be some Hebrew Israelites there in our homeland. But in general, the people that are there don't belong there. It's our homeland. Also as well, all right, as has been said in the scriptures, when the Israelites, return to their land, it's going to be peace. Does this look like peace here? All right. Bloodshed and destruction. Does this look like peace? So we know that those aren't the real Hebrew Israelites. We are the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, because there hasn't been peace in that land since those fake Jews got there. Okay? They really are the Khazars, all right? Europeans that inhabited the land in 1948 by force. And they've been battling the Palestinians that were there in the land before them ever since then, back and forth. And of course, last week this culminated, whether it was staged, all right, by the elites, okay, of the NWO or not, there still was a lot of bloodshed. And whether or not it's been staged or it's been a FF, kind of give a code word there, whether it's been staged or not, everything is being directed by Yahweh. He controls the left and the right. Isaiah 45:7, I create good, I create evil. So everything is being controlled by Yahweh to make the prophecies come into fruition. But there will be no bloodshed in the kingdom. You won't see this in the kingdom, in the true kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right? So at this stage, well over 1,400 Israelis, all right, have been killed, 150 kidnapped, and over 2,800 Palestinians have been killed. All right, and Israel is threatening to come in there with the ground force, and there's going to be more bloodshed. And then this may bring in Hezbollah from Iran into the war, all right? And that's going to bring in the United States. And then you're probably going to have Russia get involved. So we're looking forward to Joel chapter 3, all right, in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which will lead to World War III. We're looking forward to this happening. We hope this happens. But there has to be some other things that happen as well. The implementation of the MOTB, spoken of in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 and 17, Jacob's trouble, all right, where the elites are going to try to come mainly after us, the Hebrew Israelites, particularly the 2/3 of us that haven't hearkened to this word, but also the 1/3 hope for elect, to try to convince us to take that MOTB. And 2/3 of our people are going to take it. But the 1/3 elect are not going to be fooled. They're not going to take it. You see? So they already have the concentration camps ready. They have UN troops in here already crossing the border. ready to take action, ready to enforce martial law. So all these events, okay, are kind of in a line with each other. So those of us who are part of the 1/3 hope for elect, we hope it kicks off. We want it to, because we know that eventually it will lead to World War III. Eventually that will lead to, of course, nuclear missiles being fired upon Babylon, America, and the 1/3 elect of the Hebrew Israelites being extracted into the big gigantic chariot when Yahweh Shai and the angels come. And Babylon, America, of course, being destroyed. So we hope all this happens, which will eventually lead to the kingdom of heaven coming down upon the earth. Yahweh Shai in rulership as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. But the main thing of this lesson is there will be no bloodshed in the kingdom. You won't see any of this in the kingdom. All right? So let's continue on. Let's get some scriptures. Let's go to illustrate that there will be no bloodshed in the kingdom. Micah chapter 4. We have Micah chapter 4 and verse 1. See here it says peaceful latter days. That's talking about the kingdom. Micah 4 and verse 1. The kingdom of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Micah 4 and verse 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. So this will be the kingdom, when the kingdom of heaven comes down upon the earth. Yahweh Shai is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Okay, and the central location will be, of course, in Israel. All right, in Jerusalem. All right, that will be the central place of the kingdom. And mountain here means the government. All right, the government of the Hebrew Israelites will be established with Yahweh Shai in rulership. And as it says here, it will be exalted above the hills. So it will be exalted above all the other nations, and the people from the other nations will flow into it. So your so-called Chinese, the Moabites, your so-called Africans, your Hamites, your so-called Arabs, the Ishmaelites, so on and so forth, all the other nations will flow unto the kingdom. Let's read Micah 4 and verse 1 to NLT. In the last days, the mountain of the Lord's house will be the highest of all, the most important place on earth. It will be raised above the other hills, and people from all over the world will stream there to worship. You see? Micah 4 and verse 2. And many nations shall come and say, come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the words of the Lord from Jerusalem. So like I said, once Yahweh Shai comes on the day of the Lord, destroys Babylon, America, makes it uninhabitable. It's going to be a lake of fire from the nuclear missiles and the laser fire coming from the chariots. Once that goes down and the fire dies down, the kingdom of heaven is going to come upon the earth. And like I said, the central location will be us back in our homeland. All right? And the other nations are going to be taught the laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Lord, of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. The 1/3 elect that get beamed up into the chariots, they're going to have the laws, statutes, and the commandments in their inward parts, pursuant to Jeremiah 31 and 31. And the 2/3 of our people that didn't make it, that were judged, okay, that got caught up in that lake of fire, they're going to be born through the loins of the 1/3 elect in the kingdom during that 1,000-year reign with Yahweh Shai. They'll be born in the kingdom as babies, children of the 1/3 elect. So let's continue. So this is what you should be looking forward to. But all the other nations are going to be under the rulership of the Hebrew Israelites. Yahweh Shai and the Hebrew Israelites. Micah 4 and verse 3. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off. So all the other nations are going to have to listen and follow the law, statutes, and the commandments and get in order. And if they don't, it's going to be a punishment. You see? Because the 1/3 elect is going to have special powers, spiritual powers. Let's read verse 3 again, Micah 4 and verse 3. And he shall judge among many people. Okay, this is Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So just like I said, you won't see what's going on between Hamas, the Palestinians, and Israel going on in the kingdom. There's gonna be no more war. It's gonna be a kingdom of righteousness. There will be no wickedness. There will be no murders, no killings. And like it says here, all the other nations are going to beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. So they're going to go to work. They're going to be our servants. And the Edomites, so-called white man, the devil, he's going to get the worst of everybody. All right? But the other nations are going to be in servitude or slavery to us, the Hebrew Israelites. They're going to grow our food. They're going to, fix the land up, the environment, keep everything in order. They're going to do whatever we say. So let's continue. Let's go to Micah 4 and verse 3, the NLT. The Lord will mediate between peoples and will settle disputes between strong nations far away. So there's not going to be any infighting between nations. No wars, no bloodshed. They will hammer their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will no longer fight against nation, nor train for war anymore. It's going to be the kingdom of righteousness. Everything's going to be put back in order. The environment, the water, the food. Micah 4, and let's read verse 4. But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid, for the mouth of the Lord of hosts hath spoken it. So everybody's going to be in their land. They're going to be in peace. So the Moabites, so-called Chinese, they'll be in their land. All right? The Ammonites, so-called Japanese, they'll be in their land. The Ishmaelites, so-called Arabs, they'll be in their land. The Hamites, so-called Africans, they'll be in their land. So on and so forth. All the nations will be in their own land, and they'll be in peace. They will no longer be fighting against each other or causing war. All right? Let's continue. Micah 4, and let's read verse 5. For all people will walk every one in the name of his God, and we will walk in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever. All right? So those nations in their own land, whatever their gods are, they can, do whatever their customs are, but they're going to understand that the main Lord, the one and only true God, is Yahweh, and they're going to know his name. They're going to follow the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Lord Yahweh, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So let's continue. Let's go to Zechariah. We have Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 20. And it reads, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, it shall yet come to pass that there shall come people and the inhabitants of many cities. So everybody's going to travel to Jerusalem, all right, to Israel, the land of Israel, when the kingdom of heaven is established under Yahweh Shai's rulership with the 1/3 elect. Zechariah 8 and verse 21. And the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, Let us go speedily to pray before the Lord and to seek the Lord of hosts. I will go also. So everybody's going to want to come to Israel, to Jerusalem, you see. So the Lord Yahweh can bless them, so they can worship the Lord of heavens, okay, the Lord of hosts, Yahweh. So everybody's going to be egging everybody on. Let's go. Let's go. We need to go to Jerusalem. Okay. Israel. All right. To pray before the Lord, the one and only true Lord, Yahweh. Zechariah 8 and verse 22. Yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Lord of hosts, which is Yahweh, in Jerusalem, and to pray before the Lord. So that day is coming, soon and very soon. If everything keeps going like it's going, it's going to happen very soon. Zechariah 8 and verse 23. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, a Hebrew Israelite, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that Yahweh is with you. So the people from the other nations are going to want to grab upon a Hebrew Israelite, all right, and go and go to the kingdom, all right. So all praises are due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So on that note, I hope this lesson was edifying to you, and I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakwadash, Shalom.